89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Six and a half. Kathy, you see that? And a half. And Bob is just having a conversation here like we're not even on the air. Like we're not even live.
And you're surprised
If
about
you're
that?
standing there babbling.
I forgot.
After I opened them, I yelled, "Here we go."
Say it wasn't me this time. Yay.
Say it wasn't me. Oh,
It's always me.
Yes,
It's always
yes.
me, but I'm paying attention this morning.
You know,
So it was 8:06 and a half.
And a half.
See, I don't need Pete.
Nope.
All right,
nope,
I still
nope.
hit it.
You're good. You got it. All right. Good morning, everyone. The views expressed during Ken's monologue are solely those of Ken Stomsky. Get that right. And do not reflect the views of Westfield State University, the Westfield State Foundation, the WSKB Radio Club, Westfield Community Radio, wait for it, most average human beings, persons with a pulse, and everyone else we haven't covered.
You know what, Kathy?
What, Ken?
Sometimes people need to cancel on you because other things come up.
True.
I get that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A week, perhaps a few days' notice is generally given, so that you can prepare to go about things differently. When people give less than 24 hours notice, or no notice at all, I get a little irritated. This isn't directed at any one person. In fact, most of the cancellations I deal with give me enough time to come up with other plans. Kathy, you are in the world of theater.
I am.
When somebody does not show up and the act depends on them for another party to do their thing, it tosses a wrench into the works, right?
It does. It does.
There are ways of dealing with this. Double scheduling. But for most of the real world, that won't work. It certainly won't work on radio or television. It won't work at stage rehearsal.
Nope.
You do realize why, when you go to the doctor and your appointment is at 10 a.m. and you still haven't gone in at 10:45? It's because you were not the only one scheduled for 10 a.m. Why is this done? Because people don't show up. They blow off the appointment because their problem went away or because the weather was nice and they decided to go to the beach. They just could have forgot. But with all our smartphones and technology, you really can't use that as an excuse anymore. Mm. I would guess that fewer than 50% of these blow-offs don't even call in to say they won't be making it. It's because of these inconsiderate, irresponsible excuses for human beings that places double scheduling in place, and they make my 10 a.m. appointment, for which I showed up early, happen at 11:15. Damn these people. You know, I am one of those. You know the type.
We do.
If you are on time, you are late, and if you are early, you are on time. I'm punctual. I'm sensitive to others who have scheduled time for me, and I show up. And on time. If you schedule a utility to come to your house, they usually give you a 4 to 6 hour window.
True.
I give a 1 to 2 hour window. Why? Because it's the responsible, right thing to do. Your time is just as valuable as my time. And no, Dan, this monologue was not written with you in mind.
Oops.
Kathy and myself were chatting yesterday afternoon because I had writer's block, and she mentioned how people sometimes don't show up for practice. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking about all the hours I sit and wait and wait and wait for somebody else. Actually, sometimes I go into some of the forums just to push buttons or poke the bear. You know, thank God for Facebook.
True.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oops. But when you see me go on a posting spree, it is not because I'm trolling. It is because I'm waiting on somebody else.
You're killing time.
Yeah, and pushing buttons and poking the bear. That is not being a troll. That is called boredom.
That's what it is.
I will say irrational things or say something that is completely opposite of my personal views on a subject.
I knew it.
But some folks are catching on that I am doing that, and they won't take the bait. There are a lot of smart people on Facebook. Did you smell that? Did you get a whiff of sarcasm? No, really. No, really. There are a lot of smart people on Facebook. Uh-huh. And that can be said because there are also a lot of dumb people on Facebook. It's an even match. The yin to the yang, the surf to the turf, the salt to the pepper. The discussions on Facebook can be all over the place. And you can get immersed in them. Save some money. Cut the cord. And spend all your time on Facebook. You don't want to miss a single thing. Do you like daytime serials? Cut the cord and hang out on Facebook. Plenty of drama. Do you like expressing political views? Cut the cord and hang out on Facebook. Plenty of opinions. Mm-hmm. You want to know what your neighbors have been up to because there's a cruiser in front of their house? Cut the cord and hang out on Facebook. Not all the news is true. Not all the news is fake.
No.
But 3, 22, and 40 won't be on for a few hours. Need to know the best or worst pizza or Chinese food in town? Cut the cord and hang out on Facebook. There are more restaurant critics sharing their reviews there than on Zagat. How did I get from being punctual to hanging out on Facebook? My guest coming up after 8:30 had a habit of showing up barely on time when he was on WSKB last year.
Or not at all.
And he also made a name for himself on Facebook. See what I did there, Kathy?
I did. I'm proud of you.
You put everything together there, Ken.
Pete, if you're listening, since you've been gone, I've had a polka morning, 2-0 mornings, and now I have Donnelly back in the studio. Time to wrap things up down at Pineapple Park and get back in the studio. Stat. Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group,
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
$8.21
Oh my God, there's that music again. I'm thank you for having me on your show once again to talk Big Brother.
I guess you know what that music means.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Ken, I am so interested in this Big Brother stuff. It's you know.
You don't say.
Oh.
You know what? When I found out, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I found out when there's 3 or 4 weeks left of that season. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, really? Or actually, let me say this. Oh, Willie?
Well, oh, Willie, that's me.
Bob Plass is Willie and the Big Brother.
Yeah,
Willie. And so then last year, we started tracking it through the whole summer. And we're doing it again this year.
Oh yeah.
I finally have somebody to talk to Big Brother about.
Yeah, it wouldn't be me.
Oh well, it's one of the top shows during the summertime. Stephen Donnelly, do you watch Big Brother at all?
Nope.
You know the premise, right?
Yep.
Would you ever like to be in a house
it.
also for 3 months? It's that you can't have any cell phone, you can't have any computer, any books other than the Bible, I suppose. And so you're stuck in this house. You don't know what's happening in the world, and you have to have 24 hours of games and challenges and voting people off an island.
That would get annoying.
Oh well, I can't imagine being in that house because what do they do all day long? Now you know, this guy over here, Ken Stomsky, is a full-time Big Brother watcher. He subscribes. You subscribe to the all-day, all-night feed on Big Brother.
And as I'm getting older, I'm having a hard time staying up for Big Brother After Dark on the Pop Network.
Now, can you capture the essence of the show? Why are you so enthralled by it?
Everybody loves the train wreck.
You'd like to see your neighbors really going at it. You'd like to see You'd like to see the cars pulling up and people leaving in a huff.
Maybe I'm into the drama. I don't know. I usually don't care much for drama, but in this case,
don't you know that it's staged for the most part? They gin the contestants up. They purposefully.
As you watch it during the day, do you notice that? Do you get that as if you're watching it 24 hours a day? Producers are talking.
It is known that when people are brought into the diary room, that they are persuaded to play a certain way.
Right. So
really,
absolutely, they're told to play it up.
And I don't have a problem with that, Steve.
Why? Well, I mean, there's so much more drama in real life.
No, but it is real life because
I don't have drama in my real life. That's why I get it on Big Brother.
Yeah,
I'm a loner. I stick to myself. I don't bother anyone. I don't put myself out there.
Well, that's why you got Facebook.
Yeah, well,
on Facebook,
start stirring up some crap on Facebook.
On Facebook, I cause the drama. I don't watch it.
So on Big Brother, Kenny, you would be the person that is.
I'd be like Tyler. In other words, I'd be like Beach Boy. I'd be calling the shots.
Well, yeah, and he goes like Tyler, the Beach Boy on the show. Goes from person to person and tells them what they want to hear. And there are all these alliances that happen on different, they have different kind of like teams that they've made up themselves. And so I go to you and I tell you, yes. And I go to, and you're talking about Steve, how awful he is. And I'm going, yeah, he's such a SOB, et cetera, et cetera. And then I go to Steve.
I know a lot of people like that in real life.
I was going to say, Steve, why is that on TV?
Right.
So then I go to you, Steve. Steve, and you say
Kathy's
Kathy.
terrible.
Kathy, let's get rid of her. Because there's some way that we can get, and I said, yeah, we plan that, and so you play all of these people against one another. If you're the smart, or there are people that just say, I'm staying out of everything. They're called floaters, and you don't really see them. They just kind of don't get involved in the drama.
I was just going to mention floaters.
Oh my God! And you can tell because we don't know much about them.
Well, yeah, we have one.
And there are 14 of these, 16, or how many they started with the
we
season?
have 16. We have like one, I think, floater right now that could cause issues coming up soon.
Her name is Haley.
No. No, she's not a floater. She's put herself out there.
Oh, okay.
All right? She's been a target. But a floater's never a target, but they never really...
That basketball woman?
Football woman, touchdown.
Oh, touchdown we call it.
Yeah, that'd be Casey.
Hey, what
She's
happened to
a
Omarosa? What happened to Omarosa? I know she was on.
No.
Is that a different
Omarosa.
season?
No, that was last year. But
wrong season.
She did really well. She stayed much longer. I thought she'd get voted off in the first week. But okay, so we've got this woman who's a professional football player.
Yeah, she's going to be dangerous. All right, she is the one last lone floater, I would say.
We don't know much about her because they don't give her a lot of time, but behind the scenes, she's talking to everybody, and she's well liked, and she's going to be around forever. You see, until those final weeks when there'll be
Exciting,
3 or
Steve.
4.
I'm taking notes. What's her name again?
Yeah, we call her football.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Oh my God! Yeah, so we call her touchdown.
So
Good
27. Currently, Farm Girl is the HOH.
Yeah,
the HOH. Head of household. I know that.
Oh, head of household. You got it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
But they introduced a new thing. We were talking with Megan Gentile from Technique Support earlier on my show about computers. They've got this new thing called hack.com or something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so tell about that. This is a new game that they instituted just this week.
After the nomination ceremony,
right,
a new contest is played for the next 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And everyone plays in private, and nobody knows the winner unless the winner wants to make it known that they won.
Right.
And they get some powers, and this time around, they get to replace one of the nominees.
Who's nominated to be voted off the island? Voted
out of the island.
Two nominees.
This isn't Survivor. Bob.
Yeah, right. But it's like the same thing. They're voting.
And you get to pick somebody to play in the veto competition. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very.
You play in the
powerful.
veto competition if you
Veto. What's that?
Veto. Well,
veto.
You
Okay.
veto. You get a. There's a game.
I was thinking VITO, like Vinny Vito. Or
Oh well, yeah. So like the Godfather on the show. There is a Godfather on this show.
There was a Godfather. He
Yeah.
lasted 1 week. That would have been Officer Goomba.
Oh yeah, Goomba. He left.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Goomba.
Yeah, goodbye, Goomba. We hate Goomba.
Goodbye. But indeed, the veto is you play a game and then you're able to say, I want to take this person off of the block, the nominee off of the block. So then, and then the person who's head of household has to choose somebody else to go on the block.
Right.
Can you gamble on
Big Brother?
I'm
Big
sure
Brother?
that there have to
can
be
you go
some,
to Vegas and place bets?
I'm sure some of the sports books will take bets on that.
But you know,
I have to.
well, you watch it for the drama. I watch it as well as the drama, the social study of this as a therapist and a psychologist.
Well, 20 seasons ago, it was set up as a social experiment.
Right.
To see what would happen.
Yeah. Now it's set up it's sort of like Ninja Warriors, only on a smaller scale. They have games like smart games, the way intelligent games, memory games, physical fitness games and stuff. I'd never be able to be on the show. I'd be a floater. I think I'd be a floater. Do you think I could last on the show, Ken, as you look at me?
The girls would like you, and they'd hold on you for a little while. You'd be like their grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So 8:30. I only have a couple of minutes left. So up on the block this week is Gawky V and Freaky Friday.
Yeah, Gawky V and Freaky Friday. Gawky V is the young man who is a nerd who's actually a virgin, and we thought during the season this year that he went in there and he was going to come out. You see it after dark. This kid is leaving as a virgin. Am I right?
He's leaving. Yeah,
He's leaving as a virgin.
Yes.
Because he is a nerd, and quite honestly, and
but he's also dangerous. People are figuring out that he's dangerous.
He is dangerous, and but he's up against
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday,
who's been having a meltdown all this past week.
She cries at the drop of a hat, and she's been crying for being voted.
Oh my God, my feelings were hurt. You offended me. I'm so butthurt.
Her fake eyelashes are coming off. The rinse that she's put in her hair is dripping down her face. She is a wreck. She is a wreck, and she's so annoying. It's almost as annoying as the show. We're got to get rid of Freaky Friday.
Right? Yeah, and we have the capability of doing that. But depending on what happens during the veto competition,
right?
All right, if they take Gawky V down, guess who they're going to put up?
Oh.
They're going to put Diva up. They're going to backdoor her and send Diva packing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Which means Freaky Friday will remain in the house.
Yeah,
to cry yet for another week.
The Diva fell in love with the Swaggy C.
Yes.
That's what he goes by.
Oh, okay.
He goes by Swaggy C.
Just now.
Yeah, he's from Gunwave in New Haven.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Heard of that.
And
right.
he actually he is a smart kid that was running the show but got voted off early. So she's going to be very happy because she fell in love with him. We saw it happen.
But at this point, I think she will be the first to go onto the jury, so she won't be going home.
No. They go into a house, and then they are able to watch what happens every week. Are they able to watch what happens every week in the jury house?
They get to watch. They bring clips. And everyone talks about what's happened during the past week, so they know what's going on. They're not just going on their own.
Because they're going to vote who gets the $1 million or whatever, $500,000. Is it $500,000?
Correct.
Yeah. So so we're thinking we might do this Westfield Big Brother. Steve Donnelly, you might be somebody to go into the house with people like the four of us.
We're going to get a bunch of IP cams. Pete will set up
it's like
a
Ghost
control
Hunter.
unit somewhere.
Every room will have a camera.
How are people going to take time off from their regular jobs to do this?
We'll do it. We'll do it on the weekend.
We're gonna,
mini one.
We're going to come out with a bunch of people who don't have lives. And we'll.
Hey, Steve, that includes you.
No, that's not. At any rate, I predict that Rockstar is going to go home. What do you think? Freaky Friday is going to go home. Her real name is Rockstar.
Her real name is not Rockstar.
Yeah,
her real name is Angie.
Oh, no, but she calls herself Rockstar, and she wants everybody to call her Rockstar. I suppose if my name were Angie, I'd want people to call me Rockstar. I don't know. At any rate.
She's the furthest thing from a rock star.
Yeah. But
I'm torn between them being able to backdoor Diva or sending Freaky Friday, because Freaky Friday is starting to get on people's nerves.
Oh, she's got on my nerves so much.
The non-stop emotional stuff is
stop crying about this. You're on national television.
It just drives on you after a while. And
God. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I'm on my way to the dentist this morning to find out about all of my old teeth.
Are you going to be on time?
It's actually 11. The meeting is at 11. I made the appointment at 11:20. What do you think? Can I make it without being late?
You leave now.
So that means you're not going to be watching Regis and Kathy Lee.
Oh, no, I'm going home and watch Regis and Kathy
Lee.
No, from 9 until 10, although I'm afraid that the plumbing people are there and they're in my sewers or
Regis
something.
and Kathy Lee, are they still on the air?
No, I just call them that.
They just can't get it straight.
Kelly, I can't.
Steve, if you listened religiously, you know that's an ongoing joke here we have.
I can never remember who the hell it is.
It's Kelly and Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah. And
Kelly Ripa.
Yeah, it's go nuts week on Kathy. They're making all kinds of nut dishes.
Kelly and Regis and Kathy Lee is not as good as Big Brother, though, when it comes to outrageousness. Because if I don't know if you know, I don't pay that much attention to the broadcasts on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, except for Thursday, which is a live eviction.
Yes, yeah.
People are, oh my God, Bob, they are turning against each other big time.
It's
You don't see it like I see it, but people are.
everybody's turning at everybody's yelling at one another and
Yes.
everything. Oh, I can't wait.
The people are losing a lot of tempers.
And so before these guys lose tempers, I got to go home. I got to get ready for the my dental exam.
You got to go smell your poop while you watch Regis and Kathy Lee before you let somebody.
And if you're going by
enter your
West
mouth.
Silver Street and avoid West Silver because the Department of Public Works is going to be out there working on my sewer line right at the post office, right in front of the post office. This is the worst possible place to have a problem. But
Is the city covering the cost of that?
I have sewer insurance, and we're trying to figure it out.
If you don't have insurance, you are supposedly on the hook for the lateral from the street to your house.
The law
other way.
changed on that a while back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm responsible for it
You're
now.
responsible now.
Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, Steve, as the city councilor, tell me,
Well,
what if I don't have the money to do that? Do I end up
Let's pretend he's a city councilor.
Yes.
I guess you're going to take out a second mortgage.
And is it a big cost for that kind of thing?
I'd assume, yeah. I don't know. I've never done it.
Has it ever happened to you? Has your plumbing ever gone that way?
Well, we
up
don't
on the
have
farm?
sewers out in the farm, but we did have it at the Women's Club a couple of years ago during a show.
During a show?
Yeah.
Everything backed up
Yeah,
downstairs?
it did. Yeah, it did. It was not fun.
Oh.
And they came in, but I don't remember what the cost was. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I've got we have security valve, which I in the beginning thought, why am I going to do this? And James bought it without my knowing it. I am so grateful to have this because we're not sure whether it's my.
It's called sewer insurance.
No, sewer insurance. It's
not
security valve. The
homeowners.
City,
Is it part of your homeowners?
No, the city recommends it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a rider on the homeowners.
No.
It's
a
something
company.
additional like flood insurance.
No, good to know.
Yeah, and I don't think it's too expensive because otherwise we wouldn't have it. How else do
And I bet you're glad you have it now.
Oh, am I ever? And I'm peeing everywhere but in my toilet.
All right, moving along now.
So let me go home and see what's happening. And listen, good luck, Stephen.
Good seeing you, Bob.
Yeah, pleasure to see you.
You do notice that you two have the same stylist this morning.
We are wearing linen, silk, and
Same
silk.
colors.
Pea green,
Khaki
red,
pants. Yeah.
Well, you have the courage to wear shorts. A man of my age never wears shorts.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, my
Is that
legs
a
are
pair
like
of coats?
Ken the doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like a chorus girl. Some people have accused me of being a chorus girl.
I thought it was because something might be
backed up.
Okay,
showing.
never mind.
Oh,
Here we go
stop
again.
that.
I think my
I'm
gam's still
outta here.
pretty good, a little thin, but-
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Get out there and volunteer.
I was sitting all alone, watching people get it on with each other. They were dancing across the floor, turning, moving back and forth. They were lovers. One more lonely night for me.
thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
He rules the roost on Thursday from 6 till 10. It's Patrick Berry.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Hello?
Hi, is Mark there?
Yeah?
It's me, Shannon. We met at Jack's party.
Yeah, how can I forget? Wow, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in,
9 months. Hello?
Some moments change your life. San Andreas Telephone for those difficult conversations.
Funny.
8:42 in the morning, WSKB 89.5 FM, brought to you by San Andreas Telephone.
Good morning. I'm not sure where to go after that phone call.
A little speechless after that one?
I was.
Brings back memories.
I was. That's Steve. Never mind. It's like old homework here. Old home week with Steve back again. The three
Those
of
were the
us
days, right, Kenny?
Together again.
All right, let's make it official.
Okay.
My guest this week in the den, Mr. Steve Donnelly.
Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Good to
morning.
be back with the old crew.
And
morning.
as
You
promised, so that just in case some folks out in social media still want to beat up on poor Steve,
Go right ahead.
phone lines are open. He's expecting to get beat up. 413-572-5579 brings you in. That's 413-572-5579. However, Steve,
They're too scared.
according to what I was reading on social media yesterday, they already know what you're going to say.
That I'm a peeping Tom. I want to come out right now and own up to being a peeping
okay,
Tom.
we'll get on to that.
That was you?
Oh, yeah.
And they say that you're a has-been and you don't mean anything to Westfield anymore. And they are suggesting to people not to call in because the only thing it'll do is increase my ratings. It'll bring my view.
Are they trying to drag you down, too?
Just because I'm having you on.
They don't like you either?
They don't. I don't think they have an issue with me, but they don't want to have me use you as an excuse to boost my ratings.
These are very vindictive people, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I was not aware of all this. How did I miss it?
I had scheduled one of your cohorts in a crime, Dan Knappich, to be in here.
I know. I was looking forward to being on the show. What happened?
Yeah, he texted yesterday and said, you know what, Ken? Sorry, can't make it.
For what reason? I hope he had a good reason, at least.
You know, it didn't give me a reason. I hope it's something down in Yarmouth and nothing locally around here. Because if it's locally around here, that means he's still local.
Well, I was wondering, how is he going to... He's a full-time administrator in Yarmouth. How is he going to get out here to Westfield?
Yeah.
Was he going to be on vacation, or...?
He comes to Westfield to take care of things from time to time. Yeah. I know he comes out to get his hair cut.
Maybe he's got a satellite office out here.
Yeah. He stopped by for me to read some of the codes in one of his cars the other weekend, and I know that he was in town because he needed to get his go to the barber. I guess he doesn't trust any of the barbers down in Yarmouth.
I see him from time to time.
Yeah. He still comes around.
I think technically he's still a resident of Westfield.
I believe so. Yeah, he still has that place over in East Silver.
Yep.
He may be calling in shortly after 9 a.m. this morning.
All right.
So at least you'll be able to chat with him. And if somebody wants to beat up on him, I've got more than one phone line here.
So what made you invite us back in? Are you? What was the idea behind it?
I wanted to give back to the community and let everyone be able to have an opportunity to get their shots in at you guys. Really, that was the whole idea. Because you took a shellacking on social media, and I just thought it would have been. I'll be honest. I wanted to be like Jerry Springer. I wanted to have a crap show of just people going back and forth at each other, and people are learning what I'm up to and how I go about things, and they're not taking that bait.
It's time you knew Steve is having your baby. It's true.
It's been 9 months since I've been on.
Yep. We did a DNA testing. Well, you want to be Jerry Springer. You got to go all the way here. You got to do the DNA testing. You got to prove. You got to be cheating. There's all kinds of things involved here. It's a little deeper than just Facebook media.
Is Jerry Springer still on?
He's going off.
He was canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. However, Maury is still...
You were a big Jerry Springer.
Yeah, well, I watch it several times a day up in my office. Yes, I have a television in my office. And,
wait a minute. I thought it was canceled. They have reruns?
It's not done yet.
They still have plenty of recordings to go through.
Okay.
And they left...
Maury is still on?
They left options for Jerry to come back. Maury is still on. And he's still taping down in Stanford.
See, I have no respect for those guys. Those are two very smart guys doing these schlocky television shows. They know it's garbage. They've come out and said it's garbage. They just do it for the money. It adds nothing to our public.
Yeah, I bet you loved Phil Donahue.
It's just, I did like Phil
Donahue.
Yeah,
but Jerry and Maury are the same as Phil Donahue.
No. Phil Donahue wasn't like that.
Yes, he brought up all types of topics that were taboo.
He did toward the end.
Yes, and because it was 35, 40 years ago, and the way they went about it, you didn't think that it was strange or Jerry Springer-like, but it was the exact same thing that Springer and Maury.
It's the way it was presented. It was all in the presentation.
Yeah, but Phil Donahue was doing the same thing.
It all evolved.
So if you don't like, you don't like Jerry, you don't like any of these shows,
I
you can
see where
blame
you're
it
going.
all on Phil Donahue. Phil Donahue is to blame for all of this.
No, it all started with William F. Buckley.
I see what you're doing there.
And then Dick Cavett, and that devolved
First it was
into
Phil,
Donahue.
and then it was
then that
Oprah.
devolved into Oprah, and then that devolved
and then
into
it was Richard
Maury.
Bay.
Oh,
Remember Richard Bay?
Yeah, vaguely.
Oh my God, Richard Bay was
Morton Downey
awesome.
Jr.
Morton Downey Jr.
That was the beginning of the end.
That was the beginning of getting people like Rush Limbaugh and not on television, because he would go political and made major issues. He wasn't trying to figure out who the transsexual in the relationship was. Morton Downey Jr. was he was in the dirt.
Oh yeah. But he had a rough time at the end of his career. I forget what happened to him. He got sued or something. I don't know. But he ended up passing away.
I would sit down and watch television like that all day long whenever I had the opportunity to. Even today, I get into my shop.
So what does that say about you?
I get in my well, I don't know. Why don't you?
You're into the Big Brother.
Why don't you diagnose my psyche here? This is what happens during the day, Steve. Okay.
You're into
I get to my
conflict.
shop.
You're into conflict.
I get to my shop. All right. I watch Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Reading a book or something.
I'm sorry, Kelly and
Ryan.
All right. And then at 10 o'clock, I watch Let's Make a Deal. And then at 11 o'clock, and then at 11 o'clock, depending on my mood, I either watch that local show on 22. The name is evading me right now. Chef John Slattery's on it now and then.
Mass Live?
Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal.
So I might watch that, or I may watch Price is Right, or I may watch Jerry. And then noon, I was Jerry again, but now I do the local news, and then I do Jerry, and then I do Maury, and then I do the Robert Irvine show now.
Robert Irvine, never heard of it.
Robert Irvine, he's from the Food Network. Okay. He's the English guy with the muscles.
So were you pretty stricken by Anthony Bourdain's suicide?
I was shocked. It doesn't surprise me because I've read like 4 of his books. All right?
I remember you guys talking about it before. I had no idea who the guy was when you were talking about it.
A lot of people don't think that I am a book reader, but I read a book occasionally, and I liked his writing style because it was written the same way he would present his TV shows. You could read it, and you could hear him reading along with you, and it was the same way as if you're watching No Reservations or one of his other TV shows. And he had lots of problems and issues with drugs for many years. Starting down at the Cape, I mean, he was working as a dishwasher and a line cook down in the Cape when he was young.
Right? Was he from Boston?
And he was doing coke in the back room of the restaurant. I mean, and then he gets over to New York and he's still doing it. I don't know if he had a relapse. I don't know if he stopped being clean and
he battled depression
and he lost clarity. But I was shocked. But again, that didn't. If there was going to be a celebrity chef that was going to do that, it was going to be him.
Yeah, sad.
Sorry for the long, drawn-out answer on that one.
No, that's fine. I didn't know very much about him. I only heard about the suicide. I'd seen the show, but I wasn't a real follower of the show, so I wasn't really that aware of what was going on with him. And it's always shocking. I think it brings suicide into a real more clarity when people see that, you can have all the money in the world, you can be well known, you can have support, you can have position, but boy, that depression, when it gets a hold of you, there's not a lot you're going to do about it.
His wife was hot too.
Really?
But did he have? I thought he had a girlfriend. I don't think he was married. He had a younger girlfriend in her early 40s, I believe. And I think, from what I read, don't quote me on this, that his relationship with her had something to do with his suicide, possibly.
Okay, because last I knew in one of his books, I think he referred to her as his wife. She was in the martial arts, and then they had a child with each other.
I think they kind of had an open relationship too.
See, now I'm not remembering that.
Yeah,
but whoever she was hot. Now she was a hot mess. I can see the woman driving him to do that. I mean, I've been in some relationships with some women I thought would be A-okay at the beginning, and then you get to know them, and oh my
God! Well, that's pretty much everybody in general.
I just want to, I want to strangle you. I mean, I don't believe that.
Be quiet about it.
I don't believe this stuff is coming out of your mouth. So now, and I haven't put myself out there for several years now, because we were talking drama earlier. I like to watch it. I don't like to be part of it. So that's why I haven't really put myself out there. But
maybe that's how you get it. You vicariously get your drama from watching these shows.
But I have a requirement now. After the first meetup or the first date, I need to check out your medicine cabinet, and it's getting more and more difficult to be able to pull that off. Because they're not keeping their stuff in the medicine cabinet anymore.
Where are they keeping
it? That type of medication they keep in their purse because they think you're not going to go in there and look.
Or they need it with them all the time.
Yeah, but
it has nothing to do with you. Let's not be paranoid.
I'm thinking now, just coming straight out. At the beginning, after the first time we meet. Let's say we meet up at Dunk's. All right, so tell me, what pills are you on? Let me know what ride I'm in for here.
And if they ask you, will you tell them?
So
I'm on pills for diabetes and blood pressure and hypertension and.
Well, you're looking for psychotropics, right?
Yeah.
Xanax, antidepressives, right? Does that set up?
Citalopram, bupropion. I mean,
you know all the names.
Trazodone.
That's a little frightening.
Trazodone is a good one.
Trazodone, never heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of half of these.
Oh wow!
No, I have blood pressure and cholesterol. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I used to know a lot more of them off the top of my head, but if I actually see the name,
then you know what it is.
I know exactly what it is because I had to look into it.
I have a theory, and I have no scientific basis for it whatsoever. But you know how crime used to be really high in the early '90s, right? Then came all these antidepressants, and I really think that has helped drive the crime rate down. I think if you took society off the antidepressants, there would be more crime.
How do you explain the liberal...
And I'm not saying antidepressants are overall beneficial. I don't know. But that's just one of my theories.
Duck. Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
How do you explain what's going on in the liberal utopia of Chicago with all of these killings? I mean, Chicago has the strictest gun laws for a city in the country. Yet we have more shootings there
I don't
Especially
know
just
that.
like
but
70.
Here's the thing, and
Like 70
the
just
problem.
this past
See,
weekend.
Kenny, this is what's called a classic case of cherry picking. So nationwide, violence is down across the board. It has like nosedived over the last 25 years.
Because people are buying guns and protecting themselves.
All you want to do is focus on this one pocket of violence in the country.
Yeah, it's a city where they don't allow you to have guns. Yet you have 70 shootings in one weekend.
But what is their gun law?
You can't have them.
Who can't have them?
Kenny.
Obviously, somebody can.
You can't the average person cannot go out and get a license to carry permit in the city of Chicago like they can in the city of Westfield.
So somebody has
Kenny,
guns.
but you know what? There's border. The
bad
no
guy.
borders. Anybody can come in.
Yeah,
Chicago.
the bad guys have guns, Kathy. All right, the criminals have guns. And you know what the
It's
best
just
defense
insanity.
against a bad guy with a gun is? A good guy with a gun.
See, now he's just saying stuff to get me riled up. He doesn't believe what he said just now.
That I believe in. The best defense against a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Okay, then, if that's the case, what we need to do is pass out guns. Archie Bunker had this idea. I can't take credit for it. You pass
we
out.
all know how well that went.
You pass out guns to every passenger before they board the flight, right? And then you don't have to worry about getting shot by a terrorist pulling out a gun. Because everyone's got a gun.
Everybody's got a gun. Well,
That would work.
I can't believe
Did you see that?
And if the SOB next to me starts snoring, I'll make sure he stops snoring forever. Oh, you want to lean on me and drool all over my shoulder? Bang! Right in the temple.
Oh my God! Are you advocating violence?
Yes, I am.
Jesus.
No, I'm advocating a solution to a problem that most of us
If I
have
wanted
from
to, I
time
could
to
make a
time.
stink and call the authorities at WSKB.
You know,
Ruin your career, damn it.
that's been done. Why do you think I have a disclaimer before my monologue now?
Hey, have you been watching that Who is America show?
No.
Saka Baron Cohen? Oh,
No.
you gotta watch that. You must have seen clips of it.
Yeah, I can't stand the
So
guy. That's the
can't
problem.
Oh, God, come on.
No,
These
I could
pranks-
not stand Borat.
These pranks are like none you have ever seen before. They had
never
Sheriff
watched it.
Joe Arpaio on
wait.
Last night.
He's probably one of Ken's heroes.
on Sunday. He's actually a native of Springfield.
Yeah, bring back
Yes,
the chain
I knew
gang.
that. I knew that. Yeah.
So
That'll
anyway,
teach them.
So anyway, they had Sheriff Joe Arpaio. So he sets up these elaborate pranks.
I can't do it.
So,
Go on.
So he sets up these elaborate pranks. He pretends to be a Finnish guy, and they're unboxing toys.
Wait a minute. Why is it Finnish?
I don't know. This is just one of his characters.
I'm part Finnish. Is this going to offend me?
No, I have no idea why it's a Finnish character. It's that part of the joke was over my head. But anyway, he's unboxing toys, right? Mm-hmm. And he unboxes a little chocolate donut. And he gets into a debate with Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and he's pretending to be a chocolate donut, and Sheriff Joe Arpaio is debating with this chocolate donut about gun control. And it's just the most bizarre thing.
What did the donut have to say?
I don't know. I don't remember. But he's basically taken the anti-gun position, and Sheriff Joe was explaining to this plastic chocolate donut why guns are necessary and why they're constitutionally protected.
9 o'clock in the morning, WSFD 89.5 FM Westfield. That was 1 hour of your life you'll never get back. Stay tuned for yet another hour you'll never get back.
What's your frequency can at the shopping train? I was screamed and locked out, no, not up to speed.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
It was 9 a.m. The phone rang.
Commando Pest Eradication. You saw a bug on your child's apple? Code red, boys. We got a live one.
Your home, much like the rest of the world, is infested with unwanted vermin. Commando Pest Eradication will wage war on nature, so you don't have to.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank God you're here. I saw a bug in the kitchen.
You did the right thing, ma'am. We'll take it from here. Everything's going to be okay.
Commando Pest Eradication uses only the most lethal chemicals to rid your home of unwanted life. Our team is composed of military-trained professionals that know how to take care of a messy situation fast. After successfully defoliating Vietnam, we've turned our attention to the home front. Your home front.
We've got the situation in the kitchen contained, sir. But I found this. Jesus, what the hell is this?
That's my daughter.
Looks more like Viet Cong to me.
Commando Pest Eradication. We kill everything in sight, so you feel safer. It's the war on nature, and this time we're winning.
9:06 on the nose, WSKB 89.5 FM, brought to you by Commando Pest Control.
Oh, dear.
Very classy, Ken.
Yeah,
I was counting on you to bring.
Come on, Steve, give it to me.
I was bringing you to bring the class into the show. It's like a Howard Stern. You're like a Westfield's Howard Stern. But you know he.
That was the goal.
He
for a
mellowed.
while.
He mellowed out over the years.
Well, he got older.
Now he's considered to be a serious interviewer, one of the best in the business.
That's interesting.
I had mixed feelings about Stern back in the early days. I mean, the guy was a jerk. He was an honest-to-God jerk.
He was a sensationalist. He made a living doing what he wanted to do because he wanted the money.
The man you love to hate, kind of like you.
It was compelling radio, though, I will admit.
Right, Kathy?
The
man you love to hate.
Well, that was kind of Rush Limbaugh's stick, too. I mean,
I think back in the day... I think that relates to you,
back
too.
in the day, even liberals would just listen to Rush to see what he was saying. Now it's just so overboard. It's just ridiculous. Hannity is the same way. You can't listen to Hannity.
Yeah,
it's just complete
and I'm trying to figure out how the hell do you listen to liberal radio? I mean, I tried. I tried to listen.
There is none. It doesn't exist.
There's very little of it. And what little I heard, I'm like, why the hell am I going to sit and listen to this?
There used to be Air America.
Mm-hmm.
That lasted a few years, but that went under.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's like watching MSNBC. I'm like, why the hell would I even want to do that?
You got to go to the internet now. There's the Young Turks.
Fake news.
I don't watch any of that stuff. I got to say, though, I'm very disappointed in my detractors. Not one phone call yet. I've been on for a half hour. They're afraid, Kenny. They're afraid.
See that? He's baiting them now.
We dare you.
413-572-5579 brings you in. That's 413-572-5579. Hey, side check.
Yeah.
I never officially introduced you earlier.
I know. I'm shocked.
Yeah, there you go. There's your moo cow. My moo cow for my side chick.
Any cows in your yard?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Didn't some of her cows ended up in your yard?
No, they weren't
right?
my.
They weren't yours.
The neighbors. No, they were the neighbors' cows.
You still get cows in your yard?
No, we haven't had them. I haven't actually seen them much lately, or heard from them. I wonder if they have as many as they
I don't
used
know.
to.
They're still out in the front. They're on the road pasture. I don't
What was it? You who called a bull a cow?
Maybe I've just tuned.
No,
was that
you
you?
were just teasing. It could have been either one. I'm sure it was probably a cow. I'm sure it was a cow.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a cow infestation.
You know the difference, Steve, right?
One's a male, one's a female.
Well,
right? right on that?
I'm not very good at that either. Years ago we had a pony, and our pony used to escape. And I saw the pony up the road, and I came home, and I said to one of our workers, I said, gee, could you go up the road and could you bring the pony home? And so that night, Terry came home, and he said, did you send Dan to get the pony? I said, yeah, I did. And he said, Kath? I said, yeah. What color's our pony? Oh, I don't know. He said, our pony is brown. What color was that pony you brought home?
You got the wrong pony?
I said, I don't know. He said, it was gray. Is our pony a male or a female? There you go, folks. And I said, I don't know. He said, our pony is a female. What did you bring home? I don't know. It was a male pony. I stole my neighbor's pony.
So there were two loose ponies lying around.
I stole, and then I had to call them and tell them I did it. I stole your pony. So don't ask me about male and female animals, because apparently I'm not really good at it. I just stole someone else's pony.
Now, what practically do you do with the pony? And what's the reason to get a pony? Is it like a pet that you, and
yes.
then when they grow up, you ride them? Or?
You know what happens, unfortunately?
I know what they use them for in Amsterdam.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute, that's a different animal.
Tijuana. That's Tijuana.
I'm not touching
different
this.
animal. Sorry.
What happens with a lot of ponies is people get them because they're cute. They're cute for their kids, so let's get a pony and we'll keep it in the garage, and won't it be cute? And then they find out it's not. Ponies are not friendly, and I shouldn't say that, but that's what I've been told. This pony was wonderful. Louis the pony was fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And then they end up, unfortunately, in the slaughterhouse because people don't want to take care of them anymore, and the weather gets cold, and they can't keep it in their yard, and they don't have a farm. And yeah, well, if you can buy a pony, you don't really care. So
how much does a pony run? Let me guess.
I really don't know.
$5,000?
I have no idea.
30, 35 miles an hour?
No, well, she was in the slaughterhouse, and we brought her home, and we had her. I just override it. We had her they live a long time. They live like 35 years.
I thought a pony was a baby horse.
No.
What?
No.
Wait a minute. You're telling me it's not?
Well, it's a small horse, but it's not going to grow up to be a big horse.
Wait a minute. You're blowing my mind.
It's a small horse.
All right, so let's say...
It's not a foal or a colt. It's not going to grow into a big horse. It's always going to be a pony.
You're kidding me. Wow. I always thought a pony was a baby horse, see?
All right, let me ask you
this. That shows you how
how
detached I am from our agricultural roots.
Your next horticulture question. What has horns, the cow or the bull?
Both.
The bull.
Both of them.
Oh, they shave off the cow's horns, right?
They shave it off. Well, I guess you'd call it
Cut them off?
They do. They both have horns, but if you ask most people, they'll go, oh, the bull.
Oh, we got a call.
Oh.
It's a Kremlin.
So a pony's not a baby horse?
No.
All right.
No, it's not. That's a colt or a foal.
All right.
Or a filly.
Which means because they never get big, you never get as much glue out of them as a horse. I'm sorry, Kathy, I had to say that. I know who this is calling in because we've set up a particular time.
We got it.
So I'm going to open up the phone right now. And I'm going to say good morning, Dan.
Dan. Today. Yeah.
So I have Steve. He showed up this morning.
For a change.
Yeah.
Hey, he actually showed up on time today.
He did.
At the last minute, though.
That's a minor miracle.
So where are you right now?
I am presently commuting to work. Tuesdays are tough days because we have a Board of Selectmen's meeting Tuesday night, so I won't see my humble abode till probably 10 or 11 tonight. So.
Now, I thought you were staying on the Cape all summer, no?
I am, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
You have a little bit of a commute, to get to work.
Okay. So you are in the, what do you call it, the Metal Mansion? Is that where you're staying?
The Metal Mansion, yeah, that's what I got going on.
It's your little place on the Cape.
My little place on the Cape.
I understand the commute he's dealing with now because it's summertime, and he's dealing with 28. So if he's going from West Yarmouth to like South Yarmouth, that's like 45 minutes.
Yeah, there are times to go, to your point, there are times to go a trip that would normally take you from Town Hall, which is close to the Dennis line, to the Barnstable line, normally maybe 15 minutes in the off season, could be over an hour to this time of year. No question about it.
Smokes.
Yeah, I've had to go from West Yarmouth just down to the outside of Hyannis before during the summer, and geez, you're 35 to 45 minutes, and when I go down off season, that's a drive that takes me about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's some.
Go ahead.
2 months of this, and then literally like the week before Labor Day, it all just disappears.
Yeah, I've always, when I've gone down there to stay, it's always been after Labor Day, just so I don't deal with the 28 traffic down there.
No, there's good deals to be had. The hotel prices are great. The cottage prices go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best time to go if you can swing it after Labor Day.
Hey, Dan, I got an odd question for you. On the Cape, what do Cape Codders consider to be kind of the capital of the Cape? Is it Hyannis or P-Town?
Well, that's a really good question. I suppose it depends upon which geographic location you hail from. So first of all, because I'm not a native Cape Codder, we don't get any credibility at all about anything. We're called wash-ashores.
Wash-ashores.
And, I would be of the ilk to say because the county seat is in Barnstable and Hyannis is a village within Barnstable, that's kind of the de facto capital. But certainly as you go out on the Cape, people up there would say, oh, no, maybe P-Town is the center, or Orleans perhaps, so it's all, geographically diverse for sure.
I always thought it was Barnstable because the few times that I've actually stayed down there
was
no, well, the first time was West Dennis, but then I ended up having a friend with had a house in West Yarmouth, so I would always stay at a house in West Yarmouth for a week when I went down there, and I remember. Hyannis, that's like the capital of the area here. Even though it's only a part of Barnstable, where they like to have sex in cemeteries behind dumpsters down there.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, Dan.
And down we go again.
I had to bring that up.
Is that a reference to a real life?
Yes. They refer to themselves as the gorilla in the room because their population's like 50,000 people, so they dwarf us all by quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just like up here, you have some crazy folks down on the Cape as well. Not to mention the people who do amorous stuff in cemeteries down there. But you have crazy moonbats that like to beat up on cars with Trump bumper stickers down there.
Well, let me just share you one story. This is kind of funny. It kind of gives you the sign of the time. So I took the kids up last summer to a very well-known. The flea market up in Wellfleet, right? And that's up at the drive-in site. And if you've never been to the Cape, you definitely got to put that on your list of things to do. So we go into the flea market, and we're looking at the different wares that the merchants have. And among one of the displays were all these a fellow that was trading in playing cards of, sports athletes and this or that. And then he had some rather unique political figure cards, and there happened to have been one with President Obama there. And he had a $2 price on it, and I said to my boys, boys, how much do you think that Trump or that President Obama card should go for? This person here says $2, and one of my kids says 50 cents, Dad. How about that? I go, that's probably not so bad. And the guy, he just ripped into us. He was this, I'm sick of you Trump supporters, and I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about? We're just trying to haggle a deal here over a card for a president. I don't think it's worth $2. I'd pay 50 cents. If you don't want my 50 cents, can't help you. But that's the climate we're in today. He started yelling at my little kids, and I'm like, hey, let's get out of here.
Come on, you were trolling the guy.
I was not trolling the guy. No,
you would never buy an
Obama
Obama card.
I said to him, I might have said, hey, if that was Ronald Reagan, I'd throw a 10 spot down for that.
Yeah,
but,
see? Now the whole story comes out.
Oh, wow.
We are a nation of trolls. That's sad. So sad.
Oh, anyways. But you know what? Life can be better out here on the Cape. Sunny, good beach weather. We've had a great season to date, and we had a tough winter, but we're all very pleased with the summer so far.
I actually have a property out at Wellfleet that I service, and the owner's sons go out for oysters, and they're constantly bringing the Wellfleet oysters back to their establishment.
Now, Wellfleet is like the very wealthy right? Is that where all the yachts are?
Wellfleet and
Very well to do.
Wellfleet in Orleans, there's money there. Almost Brewster to a point, I would say.
Truro too.
Yeah,
I mean,
Truro.
there's a lot of money to be found on the Cape. Actually,
So
I
out
sat
toward the eastern
other
part.
day, I sat with a billionaire the other day who lives in town. You know, it's not every day you Google somebody and you look up their income and it says billionaire. You know, so.
It seems to be down at the Cape. As you go more right, you have money, but it's not right as in the right we're thinking of, because as you go more right down there, you're actually going more left.
I think the real estate is more sparse, and it's because you're near the
you have the Cape Cod National Seashore there
right,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, there was a good symposium on the radio on Sunday about, you know, the Cape has lost a lot of its school-age population. They throw around a number like 10,000 kids in 10 years, and it's getting harder to live here. And you hear that common theme. I have it with recruiting with employees. Very hard to find housing. And what some of the commentators had blamed that on was, among other things, that, well, there's a lack of wastewater. There's only 4 communities that have some limited wastewater treatment capacity, so you can't have dense housing. The second one was back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of towns used the precursor to the CPA called the land bank to open or to buy a lot of open space that's left a lot of the Cape protected. And the other issue is with the aquifer. We have one aquifer on the Cape, and a lot of towns have procured the land around their water wells, and so there isn't really much property left that's easily affordable. But you know, it's what it is today, and that's what you got to deal with.
Now, did I read or hear somewhere that much like this area, there are issues with some areas of the aquifer down there as well?
Yeah, actually, Barnstable, the town of Barnstable, has some PFOA contamination on a couple of their wells. They've installed, I think their number's up to about $11+ million in treatment apparatus. They have varying opinions as to the source of it. Some people are blaming the county fire training academy, but that's just like in Westfield, to be settled out at a further date. But so we sell them a fair sum of water from Yarmouth because we don't have that contamination, and they're supposed to have their treatment facility up and running within 18 months to 2 years. So.
Mm-hmm. So they're actually able to get clean water from a neighboring community while they're dealing with this.
Well, they have quite a few other wells, and, you know, they did a cost-benefit analysis of treatment versus continuously buying water from their neighbors, and they found that the best thing to do is to control your own resource. Cheapest in the long run is to filter it, and they're using the same GAC system that's been approved in Westfield. So, you know, it's, like I said, they were at it a little bit earlier than Westfield. It's certainly a concern. I mean, one of the big issues on the Cape is nitrogen loading from all the septics, and
there's nowhere for it to go.
Right, and then septic. You know, when we have we have a treatment plant in Yarmouth for septic waste. It's not a wastewater treatment plant like you'd think in Westfield or in a city environment, but we have effluent that collects treated effluent, and that's got to be injected back into the ground, and we use it to water one of our golf courses, and we have an injection area in town, and you know that all contributes to the nitrogen loading potentially. So,
I'm looking at both of you. Steve is just sitting there playing on his Apple phone, his iPhone.
Not playing, Kenny, and doing business and conducting business.
And Kathy is, I think, trying to figure out what to say.
No. I'm just listening to what he says about the water treatment.
All right. So, Dan, the past, it has to be maybe 15 years now, I only go down to the Cape to work because I discovered Las Vegas. And I discovered Dallas and things like that. So I don't vacation down at the Cape anymore. But now and then when I'm down there working, and certainly when I did vacation down there, I remember going to a place called a Pancake Man. Do you know if that place is still around?
It is. It's still open, and it draws quite a crowd, I can tell you.
Uh-huh. You know, they have all types of Kathy. They have not only Eggs Benedict, but they have like 8 different versions of Eggs Benedict down there. And because they're somewhat close to like the Fall River and Bedford area, they have a lot of Portuguese. You actually have the Portuguese sausage available as a topping in your Benny there.
You know, Ken, I've never been to the Pancake Man, but I'll put that on my things of places to go when the summer season's over.
Oh, you gots to go there. You know, you see it getting a lot of traffic or a lot of business, but you get in. They take care of you quick, and you're kind of in and out. You know, it's one of those places where, you know, the Waitley Diner used to be a place to go hit up at 2:30 in the morning because you knew you'd go in there, it'd be no frills, you get good food, and you're in and out. You know, it's one of those types of places.
That's what I've heard. Good spot. A lot of good spots in the Cape, just hard to get to. I waited for dinner on Friday night for about an hour and a half at this place called the Jesuit Harbor Cafe in Dennis, and it's a great spot right on the water and renowned for its seafood. But this time of year, the wait is just killer. You know.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you know, basically down the road from you is of course Barnstable and Hyannis, and that's the area to the Cape Cod Mall and a lot of other shopping areas around that. One place I am aware of. And I'm sure at some point you might have gone in the past, or maybe you're planning on bringing the kids there, is the Cape Cod Potato Chip Factory.
Yeah, that's one of those places to go. The kids want to go there for sure, yeah.
So the kids haven't been there yet?
Not yet, nope.
Oh, I went through there when it was only a couple years old, back in the late 80s. And back then, nobody was making kettle chips. It was something brand new. So before we left West Dennis to drive back to Westfield, we had to stop there, and we bought like 10 or 12 bags of Cape Cod potato chips because you just couldn't get them anywhere. And you get to walk the factory, and they show you how they're made. And off season, Dan, it's going to be like a 15-minute drive for you. You got to bring the kids there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's conversation. I'm not sure whether they got sold or they're in the process of being bought, but there's a potential that jobs might leave the area, and people are really concerned about that. Good manufacturing jobs, yeah.
Have you hit any of the mini golf down there with the kids?
I did. I took them out to a place called Skull Island the other day. They enjoyed that. So that's our first round of mini golf this year.
Yeah, there's Skull. There's is there a Captain's Bounty? Am I thinking of that one right? Or
Pirates Cove.
Pirates Cove is the big one down there.
Yeah, I've never played that. That's on the things to do list this year.
Yeah, that one always looks interesting when you drive by it.
You know where we went?
Crazy.
We went. I was at the Cape a couple weeks ago. They've got these. What do they call them? Escape rooms. So you.
Oh yes, and Mashpee, right? Mashpee Commons. They have a escape room exercise down there.
Yeah. So you go in this room, and it's like it's a puzzle essentially, and you have to figure out. They give you all these clues, and you go through the room, and you try to figure out the secret codes to.
There's one in Springfield.
The kids love that. I highly recommend the escape room out there.
Yeah, the escape rooms are starting to get more popular. I believe there's one in Springfield that opened up about a year ago.
Oh, really?
And I was just talking with somebody else about another. Somebody was securing funds for an escape room, and I don't remember if it was community block development, or even if it was Westfield. But I remember somebody was getting funds to put together an escape room just because it challenges your mind and it brings people and families together to help troubleshoot.
Well, it seems like you can make a killing. It's $30 per person for up to 8 people. So and you're in there for an hour. So they make $240 an hour for each room. Yeah. So if you've got 3 rooms going, you're making close to $1,000 an hour.
Yeah. Dan, Steve, even Kathy, we have to come up with our own little gimmick because
way to make money.
We're looking from the outside here. I mean, escape room, $30 a head. I mean, throwing an axe at a wall. There's a place to do that now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have to come up with something.
I know.
Well, you could invite guests into the studio. You got a nice little cube there, and you could charge admission for people to look in and come up with riddles to get them out of there.
As it stands now, Dan, I have to pay people to listen to me.
Hey, that goes back to the early days when we used to bribe people with trinkets. Remember that? We had trivia trinkets.
We used to give things away in order to convince people to listen to us.
What did you give away?
Trinkets.
Like what?
Trinkets. Like WSKB keychains and different stuff like that. Yeah.
We had mugs to give away. Dunkin' Donuts gift cards.
Did it work?
I think so. You guys are like the highest rated show in the Pioneer Valley today all these years later.
Yeah, it worked for a while, and then all of a sudden, all the trinkets went away, and the mugs went away, and the Dunks cards went away. So I don't have any incentives to hand out. Oh, I do have bumper stickers I can hand out.
Yeah, we used to do the bumper sticker thing. People would call in if they saw a bumper sticker, they'd win a trinket. That's right, I remember that.
Yeah, well, what it was when your brother was in charge here, we would try to find a WSKB bumper sticker in a parking lot. Okay. And we'd take a picture of the back of that car with the license plate, and if you saw that show up on Facebook, you call in and you were the winner.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. It was those shows back in the early days, a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's when we thought we knew what we were doing, though. We were flying by the seat of our pants. I think maybe that's why. Still do. Yeah. I resemble half that statement.
Burn.
You were always well prepared for our segments, Ken. I give you a lot of credit. You and Tina Gorman were the best partners in crime, for sure.
Ken puts his heart into this.
Ken is very organized. Very organized. I'm amazed. It's amazing.
I hate walking into an ambush. I like to know what's going on. Matter of fact, the last half hour here, I already know what I'm going to do. I haven't done Ken's Den version 3 with Steve, I don't think.
Oh, I haven't heard of it.
And I also have with me, if we need to talk about stuff, I have the amazing book of useless information and the ultimate book of useless information with me. So I am prepared.
It served us well in the past.
Yeah, 9:30 and a half, Dan. What do you? All right, we already know you're heading off to work. Anything fun going on the next couple of days, this coming weekend that you're looking forward to?
Well, I think for us down here, it's hazy, hot, humid, good days at the beach, and there's been a number of good musical acts that have come through town. I was reading the write-up from last, I think it was Thursday night. Gordon Lightfoot. Hard to imagine he's as old as he is, but he really did a nice job out here.
He comes from Northampton now and then.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Music this time of year, arts and culture, and wrapping up the Cape Cod League baseball season, and a lot of fun out here.
Yeah, can I give you some advice, though?
What's that?
Can I give you some advice? I saw your picture on the beach.
Oh, that's awful. That's terrible.
You blew out the pixels on the camera, for God's sake. Work on that tan.
My wife, it was horrendous what she did to me on that picture. Holy cow. But I got pretty scorched that day, so.
Have you seen any sharks out at the beach?
You know what? I haven't personally, but I was with somebody last night who they were out fishing last week.
Oh, sharks.
And they got some of their bait fish was sharked on when they were with their boat off the coast of Chatham. So.
Yeah, Steve, I said sharks.
I thought you said sharks.
No, sharks.
That's the big talk for sure. Everybody's worrying about the sharks.
You and Donald Trump, you've got this irrational fear of sharks. What's the connection there?
I don't want to be served up like an hors d'oeuvre on a boogie board.
Do you go in the water? Do you not go in the water because you're afraid of sharks?
I do. You know what's interesting though? For a lot of years, people were of the mindset that the sharks weren't located in the bay. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, the beach in Plymouth was closed because of a shark.
I saw that.
But you see, I talked to a lot of folks that have born and raised down here, that live down here. And they're like, nope, not true. We've been fishing out in these waters for a long time. You'd be surprised how close those sharks come to shore. And that kind of put a different tenor on my how far I swim in the bay. But Steve, you've seen those pictures I take from the beach where we go to. You can take your Jeep right out to the water line on low tide. You go out about a mile, and it's spectacular. Yeah.
No, I've walked out there like a mile with a kid.
Are you still seeing any ocean glass showing up, or is that pretty much gone?
No, there's still some, absolutely, yeah.
Ocean
go on a hunt for that, yeah.
Ocean glass. It's the one thing I collect. It's the one thing I will go to the beach for. And you go at low tide, and I like to go, around twilight, and you look for ocean glass.
Mm-hmm.
What is ocean glass?
It's broken little pieces of glass that have been knocking around the ocean for years and years and years.
It gets polished. It's pretty cool looking, yeah.
It looks like a stone.
It's real glass. It's not natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
it's somebody's trash that was turned into something cool by the works of the
erosion,
the surf.
Yeah, the sand action and stuff. Rub the edges off it and like varnish it to a nice finish. It's pretty cool stuff.
We have some larger stones that we pulled out of the brook that they look like a large egg because they've just been. They look polished. They look like someone did it on purpose, and it's just the water erosion. They're called thunder eggs, and they could be. Yeah, and there's also another one, Dan, that's just found in Westfield. The concretions, the mud balls. And they're rocks. They're round, red stone rocks that have been tossed in the brook and the water and eroded, and they're just very cool. Very, very
There's
cool.
a curious rock in the mayor's office. Was handed to me by the former mayor before me. And I think it was given to Rick Sullivan. I'm not sure. Danny Nason might know what it is. If you guys could ever snap a photograph of it. But it's a black, like, to me, it looks like a shiny piece of volcanic rock or something. It's pretty cool, but I was told it was from around these parts.
I was going to say it's probably obsidian that's volcanic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a lump of coal.
Or there, I left one, I think, at the library, though, that's, it looks like a lump of molten, and what it is the iron from the Falley Gun Armory.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dick Boyso found it. I think I gave it to Kate Devaney. I'll have to look. I might still be at my house. I have no clue. No clue. But that came from Toccoa Reservoir. What's left up there? Who knows?
So, Danny, you got anything controversial to talk about? We're looking for some controversy. Got any red meat you can throw out?
Go for it, Dan.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
I think.
Anything you want to comment on in city politics?
No, you know what I would say is that the state just wrapped up the fiscal year with revenue projections, well in advance of what they thought they were going to be. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 or $1.8 billion. What's been missing from the debate at the state level is robust property tax relief. And I give people the example that maybe 15 years ago or so, property tax made up about 30% or 35% of a community's total menu of revenue to survive. And today that number approaches 50% or better. So as the years have gone on, particularly exacerbated by the Great Recession, the state has, because they have a lot of other challenges in front of them, they have scaled back their participation in local aid. And also, it's well documented now that Chapter 70 school aid is way off the mark, maybe underfunded by $2 billion or more. And all this does is put great pressure on particularly the communities like Westfield, working class, that have a challenged financial demographic. And I'd like to hear some of the debate at the state level talk more about fixing the Chapter 70 problems and more robust local aid. And I was really disheartened that, say, like $500 million of this surplus. And I've always believed when you run a surplus, you should send that money back to the taxpayers after you meet your obligations and whatnot. But nobody even came up with a bill like $250 million to send back to cities and towns in the form of property tax relief. And I think that's going to be our challenge going forward, is how to continuously finance cities and towns in an era where the state continues to drain the revenues away from them on these issues, and we have very limited ability to raise revenue. And I don't hear anybody being an advocate.
It sounds like you would be a big supporter of the progressive income tax.
Well, that I'm actually not, though, Stephen. I know you tried to pigeonhole me into that conversation, but I believe, like, right now we have a robust surplus, and that money should have been earmarked to come back to cities and towns.
What do you personally care about taxing dollars made over $1 million in income? I mean, that's not going to affect you, and it's going to bring in revenue to the state. Why wouldn't you support that?
Because they're already overtaxing because they generate an enormous surplus.
We're taxing millionaires. People make $1 million or more. $1 million more. Those people are wealthy with 3 and 4 yachts and 10-bedroom mansions. Who cares about them? The rich. Tax the hell out of them. Bring the money here to Westfield.
Oh, boy. There you go. You guys wanted controversy. You just got it.
Thanks, Dan.
No problem.
Dan, I want to thank you for taking about half an hour out of your life that you're never going to get back and giving us a call here.
I apologize for not being able to be. I thought I was going to be home on baseball camp this week, and it turned out that camp was last week. But anytime you got an I'm around for vacation. Love to join you again.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dan.
Hey, see you guys. Stay cool.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
My family! He's got a gun!
Someone's breaking into your home. What do you do? Call 911? It takes the police an average of 35 minutes to respond to a 911 call. In that time, a burglar could have his way with your wife, smoke a cigarette, flip her over, and go in for seconds. Don't let the worst happen to you. It is vital that you protect yourself. Do it the patriotic way.
That's right. Ammunition has all the equipment you need to protect your family from the evils of a liberal society. Fixed, mounted, and shoulder-held submachine guns, mortars, surface-to-air, and all manner of heat-seeking missiles. And just in to celebrate the Gulf War, pink and blue tracer bullets so you can protect your family in the dark. Start the week off right on Make My Day Mondays with 2-for-1 on main, strafe, and kill landmines. Got Gulf War syndrome? Get $10 off all machine gun rentals. Hey, if you love your family, prove it with a gun. Ammunition, protecting your rights.
Oh,
WFKB 940 and a half, brought to you by Ammunition.
I'll just pretend I never heard that commercial.
Yeah, and you know what? I played that just for you. You do know that, right?
I've played Grand Theft Auto a bit. I'm familiar with Ammunition. That's the gun store that you go into.
Yeah.
When you buy your ammunition.
I didn't know you played GTA.
A little bit, yeah. Well, I played it back in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Grand Theft Auto 2 or 3, Vice City.
There was no 2. There was Auto, and then there was they named it something.
I go back to Vice City.
And then it was 3, and then Vice City, and then there's been a couple more of them, and now you need a PS4 in order to play the latest one, and I only have a PS2, so I don't have any of the newest editions. But with GTA, what I would do is I wouldn't actually try to play the game because there's a mission involved, and you have to do certain tasks, and you move on and on. You know, there is a premise to the game, but what I do is I put the hack in to the controller for like God mode and endless life and endless ammunition and
so
stuff
you're not
like
playing
that.
on a PC, you're playing on like an Xbox
on
or
a PS2, on a PlayStation, and I put the cheat code in, and I just drive around and steal cars and get out of the car and punch people and raise the havoc, and it's a great stress relief. Well,
it was, I think, it's one of the first games that made social commentary.
And you know, I don't use it as an example. I don't learn from it. I don't then go out onto the Elm Street and get out of my car and punch somebody and then steal their vehicle.
Well, that's another theory of mine, Kenny.
Here we go.
These video games are a release for violent people, so they take out their aggressions inside the video game, and now that that's a catharsis, and now they have no need to go shoot people in the real world.
Yeah.
So they don't need guns.
Yeah,
so we'll buy them video games instead of guns.
We don't.
There you go.
We don't learn how to do that from video games. Hey, Steve, did you ever play version 3 of Ken's 10?
I have not. No, I didn't know there was a version 3.
Yeah, I'm actually retiring it.
I heard it before. I think I was up to version 2. I don't know. Ask the question. I'll know.
Food Fest comes around. I'm up to 4.0. I'll be launching 4.0 then. So this might be the last time I finish up 3.0. So Ken's 10 with Steve Donnelly. Mustard or ketchup?
Mustard. I don't eat it either. If I had to eat something, it would be mustard.
Water. Bottle or tap?
I go both ways. Recently bottled.
Number 3, Simpsons or Family Guy?
Simpsons. No, I don't watch either.
Number 4.
Contrary.
New York or Boston?
I'm going New York.
All right.
New York, baby.
Good for you.
capital of the universe.
Shock.
I think Tokyo would take it to task.
More people.
Yeah. Number 5, DVR or live television.
DVR.
Interesting.
I never watched live TV except for Rachel Maddow. Chris Hayes. You got to watch those live.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
The news is changing so fast, it doesn't do you any good to DVR those.
Number 6. Did you just snort, Kathy?
I'm trying to get people to call in.
Number 6.
Sorry.
Ralph Cramden or Buford T. Justice?
Buford T. Justice. That's a great
You are
movie.
contrary on almost everything.
I was 7 years old when that movie came out. It was phenomenal.
10 and 202. Route or Route?
Route 202. Route 66.
Number 8. Munsters or Family Guy? I'm sorry, Munsters or Addams Family?
I don't watch either. The Addams Family. The original. Whatever was the first one. Was that the Addams Family?
They were both out at the same time.
They were like rip-offs of each other. I'll go with Adam. I hated both. Addams Family, though.
Number 9. Pool or hot tub?
Hot tub.
See, that's where I am, too.
Yeah, okay.
And number 10, Ken's 10 with Steve Donnelly. Smooth.
Well, we know this one.
Or chunky.
Smooth all the way.
and that's...
I think the FDA
Ken's
should ban chunky peanut butter.
Tell us how you really feel, Steve.
Did you just say the FAA should ban it?
FDA.
Oh, FDA.
Ben, why do you not like chunky?
It's just gross. It's just, ugh.
I mean, I
Food
like
should not
smooth,
have chunks in it.
I don't mind it.
I will eat chocolate chip ice cream.
The ice cream I didn't get is the kids used when they were little. We had bubblegum ice cream, and I just
never heard of that.
didn't get it. There wasn't enough bubble gum to chew it. So what it?
Did
I
you
didn't
swallow the bubble gum?
I guess they must have.
Friendly's have cotton candy ice cream right now. It's limited edition.
Really?
And there's little chunks in there. There's like a pop rock, but it's not a pop rock. It's like a little something
of cotton candy.
And it tastes like cotton candy.
Huh. I do like
really,
cotton candy.
and it's fluorescent pink and fluorescent baby blue, just like cotton candy.
They do some crazy stuff with food.
They do. And
like
Pioneer...
those Red Hot Cheetos. What in the hell?
Wait a minute. Steve was commenting on food?
Super dark red dye. I mean, I'll eat them, but I'm like, what am I putting in my mouth?
The least adventurous eater in Westfield here.
I know. Pioneer Dairy used to make cheesecake ice cream, and it was to die for. Die for.
In the early 90s, and I don't know if this was before or after Roger Ring with New Corner.
I remember Roger Ring.
Yeah, I would. He owned New Corner. He owned 4 Mile.
Yeah,
I remember not living at home on Crown Street, but going over to visit, and it was early 90s. And all of a sudden, oh, guess what? New Corner has soft serve now, and they have cheesecake flavored soft serve, and that was the first time I ever had a cream cheese flavored ice cream at all. And then after that, I had to make it a point whenever I drove down from Hamp to go back home, I had to walk down there to get one of those cheesecake ice creams.
Oh, I call that the Vice store. I mean, you can gamble there. You can get beer now.
You can, and wine.
You can get a
smokes,
big Philly cheesesteak grinder, smokes.
You know, every now and then,
candy.
You know, my father still lives up on Crown, and I'll stop there to help him out with something on the way home from work a lot. And well, you know that's damn near dinner time. And if I know I'm not cooking something, and I know I don't have something ready to go in the fridge, I'll stop there to get a grinder.
Yeah, they've got a really popular deli.
Yeah,
their grinders are awesome.
They're incredible. And what'll happen, either in the parking lot or inside, somebody will recognize me. And they're like, "What the hell are you doing on the north side?" You don't belong.
Like you don't belong.
You're up on the hill. What are you doing here?
That's funny. That's funny.
That's happened to me multiple times going in there.
Interesting.
You should be down at Meadows Market getting a sandwich, not up here.
So is New Corner Variety there since time immemorial? When you were like a 5-year-old kid in Crown Street, was it there?
When I was walking,
been there as long as I knew.
When I was walking to school in third grade to Prospect Hill, that store was there.
I moved up there in '74, I think.
It was there.
It was there, but I think it was fairly new then.
And it was a lot smaller, and the configuration was different too.
And they had Walter's Market. Remember the two? There was a grocery store, and then there was another one on Notre Dame Street.
Yeah, right across the street on Montgomery was another market.
Grocery stores, actual markets up there.
Walter's Market.
Well, there's JJ's Variety now.
No,
Is that the same place?
Right past New Corner on the left, there's a storefront. It's now an apartment, I guess.
No,
that was
noticed.
Walter's Market. It was a regular market. And then around the corner on Notre Dame Street was Notre Dame Market.
Jane's.
Yeah.
Jane's.
Yeah,
On Notre
Jane's.
Dame Street,
Yes.
really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so right in that one, let's call it the Crown
Like a
Montgomery Triangle.
Yeah.
There were 3 markets.
Interesting.
Yep.
So this
But
is
they had it. If you go
before
down,
everyone had a car and people would walk to the market.
If you go down Meadow Street, go down Meadow, and look at all of the buildings there that were storefronts.
That was considered Little Downtown.
Little Downtown.
On Meadow Street?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
those
drawing a
houses, you can take a look at the front of the houses, and you see where the big flat fronts, and they don't look like a house.
But
But
they're
they're a house
where
now.
Meadow Street is.
Meadow.
That's how you get to my house, Steve.
That's where he lives.
Rallies.
Oh, Meadow. I thought we were talking about Prospect Hill. Okay, that's
No,
what-
but I'm sorry. I
Oh,
changed.
sure. Yes. Yeah. I've seen all the storefronts. Yes.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of. I mean, the hill you had to walk. So the storefronts grew up on the hill itself.
Speaking of places to get food, I want to mention once again the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield is once again feeding the kids here in town this summer. This a program that they're going to be running until August 28th. Any child aged 2 through 18, if a lunch is needed, a lunch they will receive. All you have to do is go to one of the satellite locations where they're doing this. And those locations would be Chapman Playground. That's 1 o'clock to 1:30. CPA is 11:30 to 12 o'clock.
Colonial Pine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For those if you live at CPA, you know
They should know.
Yeah. That's been called CPA for 40 years.
I've never called it that, and that's my school district.
Yeah, Colonial
We
Pine
always
Acres.
called it Colonial Pine.
Yeah. Powder Mill, 12 to 1. Sadie Knox, 12:15 to 12:45. And they actually have it down here. They list it. Sadie Knox Spray Park. And that's just, having grown up over there, that's so
Sadie Knox.
strange.
Yeah,
saying
I
Sadie
agree.
Knox Spray Park.
Yep.
That's 12:15 to 12:45. Edgewood is 12 to 12:30. Hubbard Street is 12 to 12:30. South Middle School is 12:30 to 1 o'clock. And Thursdays only, when they have the farmers market down at the Church of Atonement, 12:45 to 1:30. Thanks again to the Boys and Girls Club for offering this program for another year.
And can we mention the 350 extravaganza this weekend?
It's the Dine in White. A lot of you folks will ask, well, what the heck is a Dine in White?
You dine in white.
Yeah, well, I did a small video recording with Harry and Joyce last week. I posted it to the Facebook group, and it's also on a copy of the video is also on the Westfield 350 website, and you can get there, facebook.com/Westfield 350, or if you want to go to the Dine in White page on the Westfield 350 website, it's westfield350.org/Dine in White. That's Westfield350.org/Dine in White. There's a poster up telling you kind of what it's about, and if
still got a secret location.
If you're still at a loss,
location.
If you're still at a loss, the video might be able to clear things up a little bit. And yes, the location is still secret.
Well, how do you know where to go?
The day before, they're going to be calling all of the phones of the people who have bought tickets and registered. We're going to post the location on the Facebook page and also on the Westfield 350 page. So you will know the day before where you're going on Saturday afternoon.
Good.
And it's a nice place. I'll just say that.
I'm sure it is, and it's to raise money for the 350 next year that Westfield will be doing. So
You've accomplished something for the 350 this past week, haven't you?
I have, Ken, and I'm really excited about it. We even have the mayor on board to do something in the end, and it is going to be the weekend of the Westfield birthday. We are doing a musical for based on the history of Westfield, and I will need at least 40 people to take part in this, and so I have all of you listening. I have roles for people who want to sing. I have roles for people who want dialogue, and I also have roles for people who just want to be on the stage and be part of a tableau or a group and not have to learn anything but still have the fun. So it should be a great time.
They got a show for rehearsal.
Yes, they do, but it's not an overtaxing rehearsal. You know, it's in tableaus, so it's a matter of just knowing what you're doing and standing in place.
In tableau, that's a theater term.
Tableau.
Latin?
Tableau. No, that must be a French word.
Oh,
Tableau. I'm sure that's probably French. So it's exciting. It will be a musical. We're running it 2 weekends. And then I understand that Harry wants to have a reception on the Friday.
We've been talking about doing several different things and working at several different ways. We took 2 months off this summer from the board meetings.
Okay.
So there's been a few things talked about and mentioned that hasn't been made official. Okay. So I'm not going to comment on that, even though I've been in
he's
conversations with Harry.
He's given me several different ideas about that. So we will see.
All right.
We'll see what he wants to do.
What's going on with you this summer?
Oh, not too much. I'm just laying low, enjoying life. Got nothing really to report. I'm doing nothing.
You're doing nothing, huh?
Nice, yeah.
I wish I could just do nothing.
Do nothing.
It's nice. I'm telling you, got the life of Riley.
Mm-hmm. I was. I don't have time to do this. I'll do it off air. It's kind of funny, but I just don't have enough time for it. 9:57. I want to thank my listeners for tuning in and basically just taking 2 hours of your life and throwing it into the chuck it bucket and saying, all right, well, so be it. There you go.
Next time, get me some callers.
I put the number out several times. I marketed it on social media. I mean, I guess everyone knew what I was up to. I wanted to boost my ratings, and the citizens of Westfield were not going to have that.
Keyboard warriors.
Let me look at my automation here to see where I am. All right, next week, Dan Paquette from the library will be back in, and we will actually be talking about books this time.
Maybe.
I hope.
Maybe.
Well, that's the plan. That's the intention.
Intentions are good, but I know how it happens here.
Speaking of books, what were those books that you brought up earlier?
Just in case we needed something to talk about, I brought in the Ultimate Book of Useless Information and the Amazing Book of Useless Information.
Let me see one of these.
They're a lot of fun. We used those, last week?
Yeah, a couple of times.
They really are fun.
Yeah.
They're great conversation starters.
Yeah.
They really are.
Oh, and for the trivia for the Shriners this year, Pete and I are doing that again, along with Rick Berry.
Uh-huh.
And I am not pulling my trivia from the internet anymore. I'm not researching each and every question. I have actually ordered special books made for trivia night.
Smart.
So it saves me a lot of work.
And you'll get the answers right.
And everything is already vetted.
It'll be validated.
And if anything's challenged, I'll have the book right there with me. Well,
Yeah, but the only downside I see is they may not be as creative,
Now, I was also...
Well, he can still throw in a few of his own.
Well, I was asked by one of the organizers, can you make them a little easier this year? I'm like, well, just because you thought they were tough doesn't mean they were tough questions. I mean, you
can't answer them all.
Every question was answered.
I'd like them on the tougher side. I like them on the tougher side.
So you can't get them all right.
I told them, I'm still going to do...
Where's the competition?
I'm still going to do a mix, of easy, I'll do a few snowballs and...
Sure.
Or softballs.
Sure.
And then, you got to have a tough one every now and then. 2 weeks from now... he's going to be out from the woods and away from the campsite and back home. Chef John Slattery will be in the studio. And then 3 weeks from now, guess what time it is?
Uh-oh, yay! Time for me to lose.
Well, didn't you already win?
I did. I won once.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Yeah. So making the list will be 3 weeks from now. Also, broadcasting live August 24th and 25th. From the Food Fest downtown Northampton. Steve, you're welcome to stop by. And
I think I'll be at the Food Fest as a volunteer for Kiwanis.
All right. Speaking of Kiwanis,
I'll definitely stop by.
Speaking of Kiwanis, I need to run something by you once we get off air as well. That's all the time I have. I'll catch you next week.
Bomba-dee-da, 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 bomba-dee-da,
Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Light spilling through, light making beams. The dust is dancing. It's